The night shift at Luna Defense Command was usually quiet. Captain James Miller liked it that way. He sat in his comfortable chair, sipping coffee from his worn steel mug, watching the deep space monitoring screens with practiced ease. 20 years of service had taught him that space was vast and mostly empty. Mostly. Tonight was different. The first sign came from Monitor Station Delta, one of the hundreds of seemingly ordinary satellites orbiting Earth. To the public, these were simple weather and communication devices. The truth was far more interesting. "Captain, you need to see this," called out Tom, one of the younger operators. His voice had an edge to it, the kind that made veteran officers pay attention. James walked over, his boots making soft sounds on the polished floor. The screen showed what looked like empty space, but the readings told a different story. Where there should have been nothing, the quantum sensors detected tiny distortions. "How long has this been active?" James asked, placing his mug on the desk. 3 hours, sir. At first, we thought it was a sensor glitch, but Tom pulled up more data. It's happening across all frequencies. Whatever this is, it's big. James nodded slowly. He'd been waiting for this moment for most of his career. They all had. "Begin Protocol 7, he ordered, his voice calm but firm. Around the command center, lights dimmed to a soft blue. Hidden panels in the walls slid open, revealing advanced equipment that hadn't seen use outside of drills. This was no drill. "Sir," another operator called out, "we're picking up similar readings from all 12 monitoring stations. The pattern." She paused, double-checking her screen. "It matches the Sigma event." The Sigma event. 50 years ago, humanity had its first true contact with alien life. Not the peaceful kind they showed in movies, but a scout ship that thought Earth would be easy prey. That day changed everything, though few knew the real story. The public version involved a meteor that burned up in the atmosphere. The truth had shaped humanity's path ever since. James pressed his palm against a hidden scanner, and a secure channel opened to Earth Defense Command. "This is Captain Miller, Luna Defense. Authorization code Echo 79 Delta. We have confirmation of pattern Sigma. I repeat, pattern Sigma is active." Deep beneath the surface of Earth, machines that had waited decades hummed to life. In secret bases across the solar system, men and women who had trained their entire lives moved to their stations. Humanity had spent 50 years preparing for this moment. "Orders confirmed, Captain," came the response from Earth Command. "Initiate silent running protocols. Let them think we're blind." James turned to his crew. "You all know what this means. Everything we've trained for starts now. Earth depends on us playing our part perfectly." He looked at each face in the room. They were young, but they were ready. "Remember, we're not the primitive species they think we are. Let them keep thinking that." The next few hours were a carefully choreographed dance. Luna Defense monitored the growing number of distortions, cloaked alien ships gathering in the outer solar system. They tracked each one, mapped their positions, all while maintaining the appearance of normal civilian space traffic. Earth's public channels continued their usual chatter about weather, sports, and entertainment. Satellites kept broadcasting cat videos and social media posts. But underneath this peaceful surface, humanity's real technology, kept hidden for decades, was waking up. In his private office, James opened a secure terminal and reviewed the final confirmation. The quantum readings matched perfectly with those from 50 years ago. The same species had returned, probably thinking they would find the same primitive civilization they'd discovered before. Instead, they were flying into the most elaborate trap in human history. He smiled slightly as he sent the final authorization code. Across the solar system, hidden defense platforms powered up behind their dimensional shields. Quantum entanglement communicators activated, connecting Earth's real defense network. Antimatter production facilities on Mars increased their output. Let them come, James thought. Let them think we're still sending radio signals and chemical rockets into space. Let them think we're defenseless. We've been waiting for you. Dr. Anna Reed stood in the massive underground chamber beneath the Rocky Mountains, watching as the antimatter containment vessels glowed with a soft blue light. To the public, this facility didn't exist. Like many of Earth's real technological advances, it had been hidden away for decades, waiting for this moment. Status report. She called out to her team, her voice echoing in the vast space. All systems are running at full capacity, Doctor, replied Mark, her chief engineer. The quantum shields are holding steady at 100%, and the aliens haven't detected any energy signatures. Anna nodded, walking past rows of technology that would shock most of humanity if they knew it existed. The public thought humanity was still struggling with basic spaceflight and simple satellites. They had no idea that deep beneath their feet, mankind had mastered antimatter production, gravity manipulation, and dimensional shielding. Her tablet beeped with an incoming message from Europa Base. The secret facility beneath Europa's ice sheets had detected more alien ships entering the solar system. Everything was going according to plan. Dr. Reed, a voice call from the main control station. We're receiving a priority transmission from Luna Defense Command. The large screen at the front of the chamber came to life, showing Captain Miller's face. Doctor, our guests are getting curious. They've started probing our orbital defense network. Anna smiled slightly. Let them probe. All they'll find are our decoy satellites and outdated defense systems. Have they tried scanning Mars yet? Not yet, Miller replied. They seem focused on Earth for now. Their scans show exactly what we want them to see. A planet dependent on fossil fuels and primitive space technology. Anna turned to her team. Initiate Phase 2 of the defense grid. Remember, power signatures must stay within acceptable levels. We can't show our hand too early. Around the chamber, technicians moved with practiced efficiency. The real defense grid, a network of quantum-linked satellites and defense platforms, remained perfectly hidden behind its dimensional shields. The aliens would only see what humanity wanted them to see. Walking to a secure terminal, Anna entered her authorization code and brought up the full display of Earth's hidden arsenal. 50 years of preparation had given humanity an advantage their potential invaders couldn't imagine. The Mars colony, officially a small research station with a few hundred people, actually housed over 50,000 military personnel and the largest antimatter production facility in the solar system. Europa Base, unknown to the public, contained humanity's advanced fleet of ships, ready to launch at a moment's notice. Doctor, Mark called out, we're detecting energy spikes from the alien fleet. They might be preparing for a show of force. Right on schedule, Anna muttered. She opened a channel to Admiral Walker at Earth Defense Command. Admiral, they're positioning for their demonstration. All hidden assets are in place and ready. Good work, Doctor, the Admiral's voice came through clearly. Maintain current status. Let them think their intimidation tactics are working. Anna watched as more data streamed in from the quantum sensors. The alien fleet was impressive. Hundreds of ships, advanced technology, enough firepower to destroy an unprotected planet. But humanity wasn't unprotected. Not anymore. She remembered the day, 20 years ago, when she'd been recruited into the Earth Defense Initiative. They'd shown her the recovered alien technology from the scout ship, explained humanity's true plan. While the world went about its daily life, the best minds on Earth had worked in secret reverse engineering and improving upon the alien technology. Now, as she stood in this vast underground facility, surrounded by humanity's real technological achievements, Anna felt a mix of pride and anticipation. The aliens thought they were dealing with a primitive species that would be easy to intimidate. Instead, they were about to learn a very important lesson. Mark, she called out, begin charging the quantum defense matrix. Keep it masked behind the dimensional shields. When our visitors decide to make their presence known. She paused, allowing herself a small smile. We'll be ready to welcome them properly. The soft hum of powerful machinery filled the chamber as humanity's hidden arsenal awakened, still invisible to the approaching threat. The trap was set. All they had to do now was wait for the aliens to spring it. The alien fleet chose noon over New York City to reveal themselves. Their massive ships dropped their cloaking shields in perfect formation, casting enormous shadows over the city. Traffic stopped. People stared upward. Phones recorded what would become humanity's official first contact with alien life. In the hidden command center beneath the Pentagon, Admiral Thomas Walker watched it all with calm eyes. This was exactly what they had expected. Quite a show they're putting on, Captain Miller said through the quantum comm link from Luna Command. They're broadcasting on all frequencies now. The alien message began playing through the command center speakers. The translation software, developed from data recovered 50 years ago, worked perfectly. People of Earth, a deep voice boomed. I am Commander Thex of the Galactic Expansion Fleet. Your planet has been chosen for integration into our empire. Your technological level has been assessed as primitive. Resistance would be futile and wasteful. You have 1 Earth hour to surrender your world. Admiral Walker took a sip from his coffee mug and pressed a button on his command console. Dr. Reed, are we ready for our response? Yes, Admiral. Anna's voice came through clearly from her underground facility. All systems are in position. They still haven't detected any of our real defense grid. Walker nodded. And our little surprise for their cloaked support ship. The one hiding behind the moon. Oh yes, we're ready for that too. The Admiral stood up, straightening his uniform. The next few minutes would change human history forever. Again, he opened a channel to all Earth's hidden military installations. All stations, this is Walker. Prepare for Phase 1 demonstration. Remember, we show them just enough to make them think twice. Nothing more. The alien ships hung in the sky, their massive forms designed to inspire fear and awe. On the streets below, people waited in tense silence. Many had already seen the alien message on their phones or screens. The hour deadline ticked away. Walker waited until exactly 30 minutes had passed. Then he opened a channel using the alien's own communication frequency. Commander Thex, he spoke clearly and calmly. This is Admiral Thomas Walker of Earth Defense Command. We've received your message and request for surrender. Please allow us to demonstrate our response. He nodded to his communications officer. Send targeting data to Luna Command. High above the Earth. Captain Miller's team received the coordinates. They had been tracking the massive cloaked alien ship behind the moon since it arrived. The aliens thought it was their secret weapon, hidden from Earth's primitive detection systems. Target locked, Miller reported. Ready on your command, Admiral. Walker took another sip of his coffee. Commander Thex, you have hidden a ship behind our moon. A vessel approximately 300 kilometers in diameter, currently maintaining what you believe to be an effective cloaking field. Please watch carefully. Through the quantum comm system, he could hear Commander Thex's sharp intake of breath. How could these primitives know about the hidden ship? Now, Walker ordered. From a dozen hidden locations around the Earth, quantum-linked energy beams activated for a fraction of a second. They converged on the cloaked alien ship, passing through its shields as if they weren't there. The massive vessel's engines shut down instantly, its cloaking field failed, and it drifted into view of Earth's telescopes. That vessel, Walker continued, his voice still calm, is now completely disabled. Its crew is unharmed, but all systems except life support and basic communications have been neutralized. This demonstration represents approximately 1% of Earth's defensive capabilities. The silence that followed was profound. The alien ships over New York shifted position slightly, their formation tightening defensively. Commander Thex, Walker allowed himself a small smile. I believe it's time we had a real conversation about your presence in our solar system. And this time, let's both be honest about our capabilities. In orbit, the disabled alien ship drifted silently, a clear message to the invasion fleet. Humanity was not the primitive species they had expected to find, and they were just getting started. Commander Thex was not used to being outmaneuvered. His fleet hung in Earth's orbit, their initial show of force now feeling embarrassingly inadequate. The loss of their hidden support ship had changed everything. Still, he had more tricks to play. Begin the psychological warfare program, he ordered his staff. Show them images of worlds we've conquered. Let them see what resistance brings. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Anna Reed watched as the alien transmissions began flooding Earth's communication networks. The images were meant to be terrifying. Planets turned to ash, civilizations falling, mighty armies crushed. She turned to her team with a smile. They're right on schedule. Mark, show me what we've learned about their fleet from the psychological warfare broadcast. Mark's fingers flew across his console. Every transmission contains embedded quantum signatures. We're mapping their entire command structure. Plus, he grinned, they're using the exact same encryption they used 50 years ago. Upload the data to Admiral Walker, Anna ordered. It's time for the next phase. In the Pentagon's hidden command center, Walker reviewed the incoming data. The aliens were following their standard invasion playbook, not realizing that humanity had spent decades studying it. Captain Miller, he called over the quantum link. Are the entanglement disruptors in position? Yes, sir, Miller replied from Luna Command. Grid is ready, just waiting for your order. Walker watched the tactical display as more alien ships arrived through their faster-than-light jump points. They thought they were building up an overwhelming force. Instead, they were walking right into humanity's trap. Execute Operation Checkmate, Walker commanded. Across the solar system, hidden satellites activated. A web of quantum-entangled energy fields spread out, invisible to conventional sensors. The alien fleet didn't notice anything until their first ship tried to make a faster-than-light jump. Nothing happened. In his flagship, Commander Thex received increasingly panicked reports. None of their ships could activate their FTL drives. They were trapped in Earth's solar system. Impossible, he shouted. These primitives can't have FTL interdiction technology. Check for natural phenomena. Sir, one of his officers called out, we're detecting something. Energy patterns we've never seen before. They're everywhere. On Earth, Dr. Reed monitored the aliens' reaction through their own communications network. They'd noticed the quantum grid, she reported to Walker. Should we show them what else we can do? Walker considered for a moment. Yes, let's remove any doubt about their situation. Execute Pattern Echo. Anna nodded to her team. Around Earth's orbit, dozens of hidden defense platforms decloaked simultaneously. Each one was armed with weapons reverse-engineered and improved from the alien scout ship that crashed 50 years ago. In space, Commander Thex watched in disbelief as advanced human weapons platforms appeared all around his fleet. His tactical officers were shouting numbers. Each platform was more powerful than 3 of their warships. How? He demanded. Their satellites are primitive. Their space program uses chemical rockets. Sir, his science officer's voice shook slightly. Those platforms, they're using our own technology. But it's more advanced than our current systems. Walker opened a channel to the alien flagship. Commander Thex, perhaps now you understand your situation better. We've mapped every ship in your fleet, including the ones still under cloak. Your FTL capabilities are neutralized. You're surrounded by weapons platforms that can slice through your shields like paper. He paused to let that sink in. Would you like to continue this chess game, Commander? Or should we discuss more civilized options? The alien commander stared at his tactical display, watching as more human platforms decloaked. His mighty invasion fleet, meant to terrify a primitive world, was now trapped and outgunned. For the first time in his long military career, Commander Thex felt something he'd never expected to feel while invading Earth. Fear. In her underground facility, Dr. Reed couldn't help but smile. 50 years of preparation had paid off perfectly. The aliens had brought their biggest fleet, their best weapons, their most advanced technology, and walked right into humanity's carefully laid trap. The real game was just beginning. Admiral Walker stood before the giant screen in Earth's hidden command center. On it, Commander Thex's face showed a mix of confusion and anger. The time had come to explain exactly what humanity had been doing for the past 50 years. "Commander," Walker began, "let me tell you a story about a small scout ship that crashed on Earth 5 decades ago." In his flagship, Thex's eyes widened. That mission was classified. How did these primitives know about it? "Your people thought the ship was completely destroyed," Walker continued. "You believed no trace remained to reveal your existence to Earth. You were wrong." The Admiral pressed a button, and holographic images appeared between them. They showed the crashed alien ship and the teams of humans who had carefully hidden it from the public. "We recovered enough," Walker said. "More than enough. But we also learned something very important from your ship's records. You weren't the only aliens out there, and you weren't friendly." Dr. Reed's voice came through the quantum comm. "Admiral, the planetary shield is ready for demonstration." "Thank you, Doctor." Walker turned back to the screen. "Commander, you should know that everything you've seen so far has been just the beginning. Perhaps a demonstration of our planetary defense system would help you understand." He nodded to his staff. Around the Earth, thousands of hidden emitters activated. A shimmering field of energy began to form, layer by layer, until the entire planet was encased in a translucent shield. "Impossible," Thex whispered. His own civilization had never managed to shield an entire planet. "The technology from your scout ship was instructive," Walker explained, "but we improved upon it. 50 years is a long time when an entire planet works in secret." From Luna Command, Captain Miller reported, "Sir, the Jupiter Defense Fleet is in position." Walker allowed himself a small smile. "Ah yes, about that fleet you didn't know we had. Perhaps it's time to show our guests everything." Around Jupiter's orbit, hundreds of advanced human warships dropped their cloaking fields. Each one was more advanced than anything in the alien fleet. They had been waiting there silently, ready to cut off any attempt at escape. "You see, Commander," Walker continued, "that scout ship you sent taught us everything about your invasion tactics. Standard procedure: send a scout, wait 50 years, then return with an invasion fleet. You've done it to dozens of worlds." The Admiral began walking slowly around his command center. "But we were ready. Every time you checked on us with long-range scans, we showed you exactly what you wanted to see. A primitive civilization barely reaching for the stars. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, in hidden bases across the solar system, we were preparing." He pressed another button, and new images appeared. Massive shipyards under the surface of Mars, antimatter production facilities in Mercury's core, defense installations throughout the asteroid belt. "We knew you were coming," Walker said simply. "We've known for 50 years. Every satellite you see, every primitive rocket, every piece of evidence of our technological level. It was all part of the plan. We wanted you to come, to bring your biggest fleet, to think we would be easy prey." In orbit, Commander Thex's fleet hung motionless, surrounded by human weapons platforms and warships that shouldn't exist. Their superior technology didn't seem so superior anymore. "This is humanity's warning, Commander." Walker's voice grew stern. "Not just to you, but to any other civilization watching. We are not helpless. We are not primitive. And we have been preparing for this moment for a very long time." He leaned forward slightly. "Now shall we discuss the terms of your fleet's peaceful departure? Or would you prefer to see what else humanity has been hiding?" The silence that followed was broken only by the soft hum of Earth's planetary shield, a gleaming testament to how far humanity had come, and how badly the aliens had underestimated them. Commander Thex sat in his private quarters aboard his flagship, staring at the data streams flowing across his screens. Everything he thought he knew about Earth was wrong. Everything his civilization's intelligence had gathered over 50 years had been carefully crafted lies. A message notification flashed on his screen. More bad news. Commander, his intelligence officer's voice shook slightly. We've detected communications between Earth and other alien civilizations. Many of them. Thex felt his heart sink. Show me. The screens filled with diplomatic transmissions, trade agreements, and cultural exchanges between Earth and at least a dozen different alien species. Some of these civilizations were far more advanced than his own, and they had all chosen to speak with Earth peacefully. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Reed watched the alien commander's reaction through their quantum monitoring systems. He's finally seen the bigger picture, she told Admiral Walker through their secure link. Good, Walker replied. Time to show him the final piece. Initiate diplomatic protocols. Anna nodded to her team. They began transmitting a carefully prepared package of information to the alien fleet. It contained records of every peaceful first contact Earth had made, every diplomatic relationship they had built, and most importantly, what the galactic community really thought of Thex's civilization. On his ship, Thex read through the files with growing horror. His people were known throughout the galaxy as aggressive expansionists. Other civilizations avoided them, warned each other about them. They were seen as bullies, throwbacks to a more primitive age of conquest. Sir, his second-in-command interrupted. Earth is hailing us again. Admiral Walker's face appeared on the screen. Behind him stood representatives from 3 other alien species, all of them Earth's allies, all of them watching this confrontation with great interest. Commander Thex, Walker's voice was calm but firm. As you can see, Earth is not isolated. We are not alone. When your scout ship arrived 50 years ago, we didn't just prepare for war. We prepared to join the galactic community. One of the alien representatives stepped forward, a tall crystalline being that Thex's people had tried to conquer centuries ago. Earth chose a different path, it said. When they detected our presence, they sent messages of peace. They asked for dialogue, not surrender. They offered friendship, not threats. In her facility, Dr. Reed opened a new data channel. Admiral, the quantum scans show their fleet is powering down weapons. I think they're finally understanding. Walker nodded. Commander Thex, you have a choice to make. Your fleet is surrounded. Your weapons are outmatched. Your tactical advantage is gone. But we are not like you. We don't demand surrender or destruction. The Admiral gestured to the alien representatives beside him. These are our friends, our allies, species that chose to talk instead of threaten, to trade instead of conquer, to grow together instead of fight. This is the real face of the galaxy, Commander, not the one of conquest and domination your people imagine. Thex looked at his tactical display again, the human fleet around Jupiter, the planetary shield that shouldn't be possible, the weapons platforms that could tear his ships apart, all of it built in secret while his people congratulated themselves on finding an easy target. What are your terms? He finally asked. Walker smiled slightly. Simple ones. Leave our solar system. Tell your leaders what you've seen here. And understand this. Earth is protected. Not just by our weapons or shields or fleets. We're protected by something your people have forgotten how to build. Friends. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Reed watched as the alien commander's shoulders slumped slightly. The mighty invasion fleet that had arrived to conquer a primitive world had instead found something far more powerful, a civilization that had outplayed them at every step. And Commander, Walker added, you might want to warn them about one more thing. Everything you've seen today, it's just what we've chosen to reveal. Earth has many more surprises, carefully hidden and waiting. Let's hope we never have to show them. 3 days after Commander Thex's fleet departed Earth's solar system, Admiral Walker stood in the observation dome of Europa Base, watching the massive ships vanish into faster-than-light travel. Only a small diplomatic vessel remained behind, a symbol of the commander's acceptance of Earth's terms. Quite a view, Dr. Reed said, joining him at the window. The invisible shield that had hidden this base for decades was finally deactivated, revealing the true scale of humanity's secret installation beneath Europa's ice. "They're spreading the word already," Walker replied, checking his quantum tablet. "Our monitoring stations are picking up transmissions across their empire. Earth is no longer listed as a target for expansion." Anna smiled. "And the other news is spreading even faster." Walker showed her the data stream. Across the galaxy, civilizations were receiving the message. Earth was not the primitive world everyone thought. They had hidden their true capabilities for 50 years, prepared in secret, and then completely outmaneuvered one of the galaxy's most aggressive species. "The diplomatic channels are exploding," Anna noted, scrolling through the reports. 3 more civilizations have already requested formal relations with Earth. They're impressed by how we handled this. Walker nodded. "Speaking of handling things, is it time?" "Yes," Anna replied. "The Council has agreed. We can finally reveal Project Diaspora." In the command center below, they'd brought up a new set of holographic displays. These showed something that even Commander Thex hadn't discovered: human colonies. Not just plans or preparations, but actual, thriving settlements on planets in other star systems. While they thought we were struggling to reach Mars, Anna explained to the gathered staff, "We were actually building these. Quantum tunneling technology let us establish colonies without any visible ship traffic. 23 worlds, all carefully hidden, all ready to support human life." The displays showed cities under protective domes, forests growing under artificial suns, and children playing on worlds light years from Earth. Humanity had not just prepared to defend itself, it had already begun spreading across the stars in secret. "Send the signal," Walker ordered. Across 23 hidden colonies, quantum shields dropped. Suddenly, the galaxy could see what humanity had achieved. They weren't just a single protected world. They were an interstellar civilization that had grown in secret, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. In orbit around Earth, the alien diplomatic vessel's sensors recorded everything. Its crew watched in amazement as humanity revealed colony after colony. Their reports back home would change how their entire civilization viewed not just Earth, but their own place in the galaxy. "Admiral," a young officer called out, "we're receiving messages from all colonies. They're celebrating. People are finally able to go outside without maintaining the deception." Walker smiled. For 50 years, colonists had lived carefully, hiding any sign of their presence from space. Children had been taught from birth about the importance of secrecy. Now, at last, they could live openly under alien suns. "Dr. Reed," he turned to Anna, "I believe it's time for Phase 2. She nodded, bringing up new schematics on the display. They showed plans for public space stations, open trade routes, and diplomatic exchanges. Everything humanity had prepared for once they could stop hiding. "Our message is spreading across the galaxy," she said. "Earth is ready and waiting, not just for threats, but for friendship. We've proven we can defend ourselves against the worst the galaxy can offer. Now let's show them what humanity can do when we work together with others." As if to emphasize her point, a message flashed across the screens. Another alien civilization requesting diplomatic contact. This one came with an offer of technological exchange, cultural sharing, and mutual defense. 50 years of preparation, Walker mused, watching as more messages arrived. "And now we can finally stop pretending to be less than we are." Anna looked out at the stars. Stars that now held known human colonies, hidden no more. "No more pretending," she agreed. "Now we show the galaxy who we really are." And in the vast darkness of space, humanity's message continued to spread. "We are here. We are strong. We are ready. And we're just getting started."